Good Saturday morning. I'm KHU 11 meteorologist Chris Ramirez. We are starting off with a fantastic calm morning. Of course, that sun is rising. Temperatures are going to be slightly cooler today, all thanks to a very weak cold front that's making its way through the area. 77 degrees right now if you are heading out the door. Sunset later on this evening at 8:18. As we look at our forecast for the rest of this afternoon, we do have a little bit of a slight chance of a shower or two as we progress through the day. Just a very minimal rain chance. We could see some more of those isolated flare-ups by the 4 p.m. hour, but it's going to be mostly sunny. We will see some drier conditions in place, all thanks to this cold front that's making its way through the area. Also, just keep in mind that today is an ozone action day. We have some unhealthy levels of ozone currently across southeast Texas. That does include Harris, Brazoria, and Galveston counties, and that is expected to be in the picture at least for today through maybe tomorrow as well. So limit your time outdoors if you have any lung sensitivity concerns, especially during the hottest parts of our day. We are expecting those high temps to top out in the upper 80s, a little bit cooler than what we've seen in days past. 90 degrees in Jersey Village, Hunters Creek Village at 91, Atascocita at 88 degrees. So areas are going to be remaining cooler along our coastal areas, especially in and around the Galveston area. Huntsville at 85 degrees. So temperatures, if you are heading out right now, this is a look at our neighborhood weather network. We're seeing those temps in the 70s. I think it's perfect for an outdoor run. Might as well do it now before it gets too hot, especially as we head into those warmer parts of our day. Dew points right now are still in the 70s. We are still looking at some humid conditions, but we're starting to see those dew points drop a bit, especially out in College Station in Cleveland. So we'll see those dew points drop into potentially in the 60s for some of us going into later this afternoon, and that's an indication of some drier air. What this is going to do is just make it feel all the more comfortable outside heading into this afternoon as we go throughout, or at least by the 5 p.m. hour. So dew points in the 50s and 60s. It's still going to remain humid along the coast, especially from Galveston to Brazosport. Looking at radar right now, we're not seeing much of anything. It's very quiet out there, but as we look at future track, we are expecting a disturbance to make its way through the area heading into tomorrow, which is Sunday. And we could see some strong storms with this disturbance, especially in the afternoon hours. So just keep in mind that Sunday, more likely to see some rainy conditions, especially in the afternoon hours. And like I said, there's going to be a window of opportunity. It's looking more so now between the hours of maybe 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. that we could see some of these strong storms make their way south in from the north, and that could be severe. There is a possibility that these storms could pack a punch as they make their way through the Houston area. So already have it in the back of your mind that we could see some strong storms on Sunday afternoon between the hours of 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock. We could also deal with some lingering showers as late as 10 p.m., but just keep in mind that tomorrow afternoon there is a chance for some isolated severe storms. There's more of a widespread chance, especially out in Brenham, Huntsville. The Storm Prediction Center is already including areas north of Houston under a slight risk for severe weather. That's a 2 out of 5. Houston's under a marginal risk. That's a 1 out of 5. So we are still in this time of year that some of these storms, or whatever storm that makes its way through the area, could definitely has the potential to become severe heading into the next few days. So we have a high pressure system that's currently situated over Mexico. We're going to be on the outlying ridge of that high pressure system. And so usually what happens is that you have these storms called ridge runners, or these disturbances, and that's when we're expecting to see for tomorrow. Heading into Sunday, and then we're going to keep an isolated rain chance in the picture at least through much of the week. So very slight chance for some showers from Monday into Tuesday, but weather models are already hinting around at another weather system that very well could make it in from the north. That could bring some possible storms back in the picture by Thursday. So Climate Prediction Center was already calling this about a couple of weeks ago, that we could start off wet and that precipitation above normal from what we usually see for this time of year. But the good news is that this does help drought conditions that are currently in place for areas west of Houston. So as we look at our 7-day forecast, as of now, it's not a weather impact alert day as of yet for Sunday, but we're just going to keep an eye on the potential for maybe a strong storm or two tomorrow afternoon. That's why I'm highlighting Sunday in red. But then we're going to see an isolated chance for today, very minimal rain chances for the start of our work week, and then, like I said, that end of week weather system into Thursday, likely to bring some more showers and storms, but we're already seeing the Storm Prediction Center including some portions of our area under that slight risk. So that's why I'm a little bit watching out on what's going to be taking place heading into Sunday afternoon. And also a reminder, tomorrow marks the start of hurricane season. It is officially 1 day away. It runs from June 1st through November 30th. We're already seeing some activity out in the Pacific Basin. We have Tropical Storm Alvin. That's going to eventually weaken into a tropical depression. That's also going to come in contact with some cooler water, so that's why it's weakening, and it's not going to pose a threat to the U.S. going into the next few days. So that storm's showing signs of weakening already as it's making its way closer towards the Baja Peninsula. So looking at the Atlantic Basin, no storms expected for the next 7 days. And just also keep in mind that we are tracking some Saharan dust. We have a plume of it moving across the Atlantic Ocean, expected to make its way into the Caribbean by tomorrow afternoon. And then eventually, the good news about this is that hinders tropical storm or tropical development going into the next few days. We're expecting this plume to eventually reach southeast Texas by the end of next week, by Friday. So we could be looking at some hazy skies across our area by the end of the week. And so just keep in mind that that may affect some air quality levels going into the next few days. So if you are just now joining our extended live stream, of course, we're live streaming on KHOU 11 Plus. We are starting off with fantastic conditions. It's a calm, clear morning here across southeast Texas. The sun is rising. We see a little bit of cloud cover, but so we are going to see some effects of a weak cold front making its way through our area currently. So 77 degrees right now. Sun will be setting at 8:18 this afternoon. As we look at that forecast, getting up to 86, slightly cooler temps expected for today. If you have any lung sensitivity concerns, keep in mind that today is an ozone action day. We're going to have some unhealthy levels of ozone across our area. That does include Harris, Brazoria, and Galveston counties. So limit time outdoors if you do have those lung sensitivity health concerns. So today's afternoon highs, 90s for some folks, about 90 degrees, 89 for the most part, 81 in Galveston. Temperatures are starting off mostly cool, and we are seeing some comfortable conditions out there, all thanks to the arrival of this weak front. So a drop in the humidity expected for today. We could still see maybe an isolated shower or two, but rain chances are looking pretty minimal for today. So some of us, not all of us, will maybe get a shower or two later on this afternoon. But as of this morning, radar's looking quiet. We're seeing some isolated showers just offshore Galveston. But looking at our feature track, this is what I was just talking about. We are expecting this little bit of a disturbance that's going to be making its way through our area heading into tomorrow afternoon. And that could bring some possible strong storms into southeast Texas. Models are indicating that this very well could weaken by the time they make it to Houston, but our in-house model, and now we're seeing another run of this going into tomorrow. I know we just talked about that earlier about a few minutes ago, but now we have a new scan of the models, and now it's not really showing anything for tomorrow afternoon. We're seeing mostly that storm activity to remain maybe west of town. So there's a lot of uncertainty on where these storms are going to be. There is a good possibility that this could make it into Houston, even though about a few minutes ago as I was showing you this, you saw those storms over Houston, but as this new model run just came in and while I'm live streaming, it's now showing it west of town. So when we have the models showing that uncertainty, we just kind of have to have a little bit of a broad outlook in terms of there's going to be storms somewhere here across southeast Texas. So we very well could see some of these storms make it closer towards Houston as we head into tomorrow afternoon. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center was including portions of southeast Texas under a slight risk for severe weather. That is a 2 out of 5 for areas north of Houston, which does include Walker County's Huntsville, Navasota, even Brenham College Station. Houston's under a marginal risk. That is a 1 out of 5. So just keep in mind that we cannot roll out an isolated storm making its way into our area. So for the next few days, high pressure system building in across Mexico. We're going to be on the outer edge of that high pressure system, and that usually we have those ridge running storms that could definitely move into the area by tomorrow. And then heading for the rest of next week, we do have a slight chance of a shower or two for Monday through Wednesday, but weather models again hinting at another weather system to making its way into our area heading through Wednesday and into Thursday. So another low pressure system very well could make its way into our area, bringing more of those rain chances for our region. So for the 7-day forecast, keeping Sunday as in red, highs in the 90s, lows in the 70s, isolated chances for some showers through Wednesday, but then rain chances wrap up by Thursday. And so we're just expecting us to start off a bit wet in terms of our precipitation outlook, but we're definitely also expecting the start of hurricane season happening tomorrow. So as always, you can get the latest weather updates on KHOU.com and on the KHOU 11 app. Of course, we are tracking the latest weather conditions here across Southeast Texas, and we are bringing that information to you as soon as we get it. So make sure to download that app, and you can also access KHOU 11 Plus on your Roku TV. Again,